Hi, I'm Mary. Sorry, I'm getting situated. Okay, and I'm here to talk about learning disability checklists, as you know. Well, first off, a learning disability is something that's really hard to define. It is a various grouping of conditions that interfere with a student's ability to learn, and it can impact a lot of different skills. It can impact their listening skills, their reading, speech, math, social studies, any of those. And what's difficult about learning conditions is that there are so many of them. You may have heard of a few. I'll name some of them. Dyslexia, probably you've heard of it. It's a reading or print-based form of learning condition. Learning disability, sorry. And what it does is students who have it have difficulty with word recognition, and they have difficulty interpreting print. There's also central auditory process disorder, and it's obviously an auditory-based disorder. And students who have that have difficulty processing info and from what they hear, and they can't really interpret speech as well as they should be able to. There's also various types of nonverbal learning disabilities, and here it's kind of hard for teachers because these students may be doing really well academically, do really well in the classroom, but they have problems with other types of skills, like common social skills, or have problems interpreting body language, have problems interpreting nonverbal communication, or even have problems with motor skills. So our problem as educators is there are so many types of learning disabilities. And really within those learning disabilities, there are a lot of different forms of them. So much so that a student could potentially have the same learning disability by name as another student, but they still have various differences, that there's really no cookie-cutter disability. And to take it even further, a student could have multiple learning disabilities. So, I mean, what do we do as educators? And that's where a little handy-dandy checklist comes into play. And what it does, this learning disabilities checklist, is it has different categories, and they're split up, math, reading, social, attention, different things like that, and within those are a bunch of different characteristics, and it's split up by age, where those characteristics will most likely appear. And so as educators, what we do is we observe the student, and we make check marks based on those observations. And so after a period of time, what happens is you don't go through and look, okay, well, this student has this, this, and this. They must have this learning disability. It's not a diagnostic tool. The purpose of this checklist is to take that information, it acts as an informant, and go to meetings with parents, with school psychologists, to set up future actions for the student, future support, future assessment, so that maybe eventually they are diagnosed with something, but to get them support on what they need. Because really learning disabilities are not things that are curable by medicine so much, that students are going to have this most likely for the rest of their life. And so why it's important to have a checklist is to get them the support early on, hopefully, so that they can learn to deal with it and become normal learners, to be able to overcome what they have. So this checklist helps students get their support, and it also keeps teachers aware, so that they are actively observing their students and trying to help them even more. Alright, well, thanks.